What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday, talking about Vikings football. We are a little under 1 week away from the Super Bowl. And then after that, obviously, things get real as it comes to offseason, draft talk, free agency. So things are going to ramp up after that. Did you watch any of Pro Bowl weekend festivities?
No.
Me neither.
I watched the replay of Andrew. I can never say his name. Uh,
Andrew DePaula?
yeah, Andrew
Yeah.
DePaulo. I watched that. Of course, I had to watch that. But otherwise, I turned on. I wanted to watch the beginning of the flag football game. I had obviously CJ Ham was a Pro Bowler, so I felt like you got to tap in and see that for him. And then my a buddy of mine that I work close with, his wife was selected as the Vikings cheerleader to go to the Pro Bowl. So that was a big deal too. So I was hoping to tap in and see if there was a chance I was able to see her or not. But I was a little bit late to it, and when I actually tapped in, all that stuff was going. I didn't see CJ, and I watched like 2 plays. I'm like, God, this has gotten so stupid now. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit and watch people play flag football. So no, long, long, short answer, very long. No.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch any of it either. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where it's like just name the Pro Bowl rosters and then don't even have them do anything. Maybe they can just go to Hawaii and hang out or go to Florida and hang out. I don't really know. But
Right,
yeah, at this
right, right.
point, don't even have the games like because the reserves are stupid because then it counts like that play. Oh, he's a Pro Bowler. It's like, I mean, he's a Pro Bowler because someone else didn't want to go. Just name the Pro Bowl rosters and just be done with it. Like it's good enough.
Yeah.
So, I
I
mean,
mean, if
obviously,
it's a
Pro
good
Bowl is
time for
important as it
them,
comes to like voting, like Hall of Fame and stuff like that. Like they
like
do factor in Pro Bowls, but
right. If they like it, like if it's for the players and the players really enjoy it and they get to go with some of the best players in the league, if they really like it, then like keep going with it, I guess. Like if you're just going to play games, I don't see why not. But from an audience standpoint, I don't think the audience really cares that much, to be completely honest. But hey, let me do some shout outs here. We waited a little bit too long for this. I think we got our boy Gary in the building, sub school mates with the hashtag skull. Of course, another show, another Ivan Pace rookie card giveaway. We got a couple more of these coming next Monday. We've been working really hard on an Ivan Pace video, and my goal is to have it next Monday. I was going to do this Monday, but I worked even extra hard on it. So next Monday, and we're going to give away Ivan Pace Junior cards until that video is out. So get those hashtag skulls in, like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't already, for sure. We also got my boy Skull Mafia in the building. Skull Mafia. We got, I already said Gary, Skull for Life Barber in the building. Sodax in the building. My boy Cody Blackwood in the building with the hashtag Skull. Let's go, let's go. Who am I missing here? We got the boy Yogi in the building. What's up, Yogi? Anybody who's watching this right now, you guys should go over there to Fat Boy Yogi and subscribe there as well. Like all his videos, all that good stuff. Let's go. Two-Toned Tony is in the building. I don't see. Where is Two-Toned? Oh, there he is. Let's go. What up, Two-Toned? What's up? What's up, Skull Affiliated? Let's go. What up, Skull Affiliated? Don't sleep on Joe Milton from Tennessee. I haven't checked him yet. Rap from Vocal Vike has been talking him up quite a bit. I haven't looked into him just yet though, but because we got some other things to talk about. We got to talk more about at the top of the draft because that's the most recent news. So we're going to do that in a bit here. But yeah, hey, what up? We got Scott Norton in here.
wow.
Welcome in, Scott. Yep. Hashtag skulls, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Anyways, back to the topic here. Like you said, handful of days from the Super Bowl. Where are you at with that? Have you decided on which team you'd rather go for? Are you any closer to like making a decision or closer caring who wins? How are you sitting? I changed my stance a little bit since the last time we were talking about it, I think.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of accepting the fact the Chiefs are going to win it. Like that's just kind of where I'm at. I didn't want to see them make it, but now that they're in it, if they do win, I don't really care one way or the other. Like I don't really have any like interest in who wins it. I just hope it's the old adage. I hope it's a good game. But yeah, I'm leaning Chiefs at this point. I don't know.
So?
Patrick Mahomes just on this stretch to the playoffs, him and Kelsey just kind of have found that spark that they have every year. And I really think it does come down to just during the regular season, it's just the expectation that they know that they're going to get to this point. and when they need to play their best, they will play their best. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm on Team Chiefs. I think they're going to find a way to get it done.
So last week. I didn't really know. I was kind of in the air. I didn't really care. I was cool. I like Patrick Mahomes, so I was cool seeing him. I know our boy Adam gave us a 50 spot last week, so I was like, I was rooting for the 49ers. I don't know if that's completely true, Gary, where is he like an actual 49ers fan or what? But I know since he put $50 in there, I was like, okay, I'm leaning towards 49ers now. I'll do it for him. But I was posting some cards today, and I was going through all my cards for those teams, and I just got so many Brock Purdy rookie cards. And if he wins the Super Bowl, I'm going to make the most amount of money. So I gotta go for the bank account, and I gotta go with the 49ers here. So I'm rooting. I want a big game from Brock Purdy. I need him to bring up his value as much as possible. And that's where I'm rolling. I already have all my cards being scheduled for an hour after the Super Bowl is over and everything. So yep, I'm going teams 49ers now. It's official.
All right. All because more profitable. Yeah, that's fair, though. That's fair.
Hey,
that is.
I mean, unless it's the Vikings, I got to go for a profit, right?
Exactly. And so, I mean, I guess that's kind of where the conversation starts, is like the Vikings aren't playing in the Super Bowl, right? And a necessary move to getting there is deciding what happens at the most important position in all of team sports, and that is the quarterback. And there's been a lot of, and that's the whole Vikings wanting to go after their guy and maybe making a move up the draft board to get their guy.
What up, Adam?
It's not a new thing, because like shortly after the draft last year, there was a rumor that came out that Vikings wanted to move up for Bryce Young, and then obviously more recently it was the rumor that Kwesi was looking to sell the farm and move up for Anthony Richardson, and now it's the rumors of the Vikings again are looking to move up the draft board. And a big reason why they weren't aggressive last year is because they knew the talent that they were going to have to choose from this year. So I guess, where do you sit with all that? All the trading up for a quarterback rumor mill?
Yeah, let me bring that up real quick. I have that right here. So this is Vikings Insiders taking the tweet from Jeremy Fowler. People around the league are keeping an eye on the Vikings as a team who could move up in the draft for a quarterback. Obviously, for us, and I can probably say a lot of people in, like, I don't know, our circle, everybody in the chat, like all the supporters, all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's very big surprise to any of us. Like, to me, it seems in any of my videos, I've said it twice, that it seems like it's been that Kwesi has it, what did I say, written on the wall or whatever. And it does it seems like it is, and that there's all the signs with Kwesi has been pointing at grabbing a quarterback of the future. And I think it's just the same now. Like, that's not, I think they have been. It's been really obvious that we want to go grab our guy. Is there going to be one there available for us? That's a whole entire different story. But I think if we like someone like Jaden Daniels, or we like someone specifically Jaden Daniels, or even Drake May, I don't know how far we can move up. But if we really like one of those guys, I think we pull the trigger if we can. And yeah, I guess I'm still on team that. Like, if you really like one of those guys, and I think all those three are talented enough where I think I would pull the trigger. I'm not as big on, I've been diving into some quarterbacks here. I'm not as big on Drake May as some people probably are, but if actual people who know what they're talking about think he could be a generational talent, then yeah, I'll probably pull the trigger on him as well. So Dylan Dotson. Yeah, exactly. Sell the farm to get up to 2, anything it takes. I think you need if you don't got your quarterback of the future, something the Vikings have never done to really go grab a quarterback other than Christian Ponder, which was like a forced thing. Like, we've tried everything. I mean, we've been around for what is it now? Would it be 60 years? Yeah, 60 years, right?
60, yep.
Yep, next year will be 60 years.
1965, right?
We've never drafted a quarterback in the top 10, and everybody's worried about trading the farm. It's like, we have never even tried this before. We've never even picked a quarterback in the top 10. A lot of these teams that win Super Bowls, a lot of them have a top 10 quarterback. And if not, like, you do get lucky on guys like what was Patrick Mahomes? Was he 12 or 15? Cody re-signed Kirk. Cody, are you actually on re-sign Kirk team?
He was 10th overall.
Hope all's good, Gary. 10th overall. Yeah, so top 10 pick, right? I think Josh Allen, was he number 12? Or was he also top 10?
Sounds no, he fell a little bit. He was number, of course not 7. He was number 7. He was top 10.
He was number 7. Yeah, so top 10 picks. So exactly, and we've never done it once, but nobody wants to do it, and everybody's afraid to trade anything to do it. So it's like we're just gonna keep doing the same years, that thing that we've been doing for 60 years, and not even take one other chance. I mean, yeah, Cody, we're not big re-sign Kirk Cousins people in the building. It wouldn't be the worst case scenario if he took a really big hometown deal, but I don't know. I don't think most of us in here aren't convinced. Well, Casey's a little bit more neutral, but isn't convinced that he can be the guy to take us to the promised land.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting with the draft, because I mean, like Dylan said, get up to number 2, but I don't know. I really do feel like Washington is taking a quarterback, and if the Bears don't, someone will trade up to 1 to take one. So I really think if there's gonna be any chance to get up into the top 3, there's a reason we're saying get up in the top 3. Because
let me bring that up for us too. Right, to me,
it's going to be, if we're going to move up at all, it's going to be to pick 3, because I just don't see any scenario which Washington doesn't take one. And again, don't see any scenario to where the number 1 overall pick isn't Caleb Williams.
Yeah, 100%. Like maybe the Bears decide to make the move because they feel good enough about Justin Fields. But if they do that, it's not going to be to us more than likely, unless they think we'll pick Caleb Williams and they like did enough stuff where they think Caleb Williams will be a bust or something. But I just can't imagine them doing that. And you're not even sure the Vikings do that, even though Quezzy's proven before that he's willing to trade within the division. So I wouldn't count him out on that. And then again, like you said, Washington, Sam Howell experiment didn't really work out the way they expected, I guess, since he almost got benched. So it's hard to believe them that they'll do it. And then New England, with Bill Belichick gone, unless they feel like Bill Belichick ruined Mac Jones or they could do better with him, you kind of feel like they definitely could use a quarterback. So it's hard to believe that they'll trade too. So if the hype is real with Jaden Daniels, and after the combine, it sounds like those 3 are like no questions the top 3 quarterbacks, you got to think it's hard for us to move up and grab one of them.
Right. I mean, I think the biggest hope needs to be that either the Commanders or New England just like has that feeling like, we could draft a quarterback. We have so many other holes to fill that by the time that we build a good team around the quarterback, we have to pay him. And then you kind of lose the advantage of a quarterback on a rookie contract. So basically the hope needs to be that one of those 2 teams just decides to trade back, build assets, build the team around where the quarterback would be, go with the stopgap guy for a couple of years, and then focus on getting their guy a couple years down the road when they already have a team, which the Vikings do have. I mean, yes, we have a lot of holes to fill on defense. And I do think a lot of times when it comes to drafting a quarterback, it's super easy to be like, well, this team needs a quarterback. Let's just make a move and get a quarterback. I think it kind of masks like the rest of the issues with the team, because it's a little more tough to talk about all the, like you look at that defense, like Brian Flores got the best he could out of it, but there's a ton of needs on that defense. Right. But with the Vikings though, and their situation is a little bit more, is a little bit better than a team like New England, because I don't think New England, they don't feel close to competing. Like they don't feel like they're a team that has enough on their team to be competitive in the next 3 years. Yeah. But the Vikings, like we talked about it earlier, that they have an offense designed to plug in a young quarterback, right? One of the top left tackles in the league when healthy. Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in football. Jordan Addison, a solid number 2. TJ Hawkinson, solid number, like probably a top 3-2 tight end in the league right now. Like this offense is a plug and play offense for a quarterback, right? And then if you have a quarterback on a rookie contract, once Kirk's money's out of the way, then here's the thing. If you're going to make the trade, Kwesi needs to get better with his draft picks. He needs to hit on some mid to late round draft picks on defense, but also you're going to have a little bit of money to throw around at positions of need on that defense as well. So I get it. I get the fear of, because if you trade up for a quarterback, you're giving away a lot of capital. Like I think at least 3 firsts, probably a second, maybe a third in there as well. Like you're giving up a lot. You're giving up a lot of high-end talent. But this team, like as you said, you don't see teams without high-quality, elite, borderline elite quarterbacks making a run these days. Like you just don't see it. So I've been a fan of, like even last year I wasn't big on trading to get a quarterback, but also like I said, if they do make a move, it's because Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell value a player enough to where they feel like it's worth it to go get
What
them.
up, Johnny?
So that's where I'm at. If they love a guy enough to where they feel like that we need to make sure we get this guy, then you go do it. You go get your quarterback. And I won't be upset no matter what you have to give up, as long as I know 100% that they believe in their option.
Yeah, which if they trade up, they definitely should, right? And they do. I feel way more confident if they traded up and got a guy than if they sat at 11, especially if Jaden Daniels was gone and the top 3 were gone. If they sat at 11 and pick someone, because then I guess you could like someone enough. I don't know. That seems sketchy. That just brings you Christian Ponder vibes. What up, Johnny? Hey, anybody in here who is not subscribed to Bite Size Sports, y'all should go do that for sure. Keep Jaden Daniels in purple. So Gary, so what are we willing to spend? And we have so many holes.
I mean, it's gonna be at least 3 ones. Like I think at the very least that's where it starts.
And that's what I think. Sure. Drafting a quarterback this year buys them some time for sure. Yep. And that's what I think. That's why I'm like, I know we have a lot of holes on defense to fill. We don't have a lot of holes on offense to fill. Mm-hmm. Like you could say maybe running back, but Ty Chandler is, good enough worst case scenario, I think right now. And then, maybe you might want to make some changes at guard and center, but right now it's not that glaring of a weakness right now. Like our offensive line definitely had areas during the year that was not great. But they still looked pretty solid. I don't know. Is Bradbury at the end of a contract?
Well, we extended him last offseason.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So, I mean, it's really up to Reisner to be like the difference of who might not be here, whatever. I don't think that's big of a deal. So if we were to give up the farm, your only holes you got to fill are on defense. I mean, if you use a lot of your other draft capital to fill those, I think we definitely have a chance to go find those in other areas throughout these years and just go so towards defense. And then on top of that with money, like that's why if we were to trade up and we gave capital, you'd really have to think there's no way Kirk Cousins is coming back, because you're not going to be paying all that extra money if you end up signing him to a 2-year extension when you would have had a quarterback on a rookie contract, and you can save all that money and put that towards filling up holes in your defense. So I'm not on, like, if we give up 3 first rounders to move up to grab a quarterback, which I personally think if Jaden Daniels is as good as we think he could be, and as the hype continues to go up, I think we're giving up at least 3 first round picks to do it. I think we can do that, feel confident that we have enough pieces on offense around him to succeed there. And I still feel confident that it is possible for us to fill those holes with whatever we have left for draft capital and free agency money on defense to make our team good.
So, okay. So here's what there. So, I mean, so very similar when the 49ers,
what up, Brady? Welcome in, dude.
Traded all the way up to the top to grab Trey Lance. They gave up what was it here? They gave up 3 firsts and I believe a couple seconds as well. Let me see here. I should have been more prepared to start talking about this.
What are you looking for?
Trying to see what the freaking Niners gave up to move up to. You keep talking. I'm going to try to find it.
I'm just looking. Hey, I'm going to grab Johnny's link right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think we gave up I think they gave up 3 first rounders and a second or a third rounder. Something like that.
You think it'd be super easy to search the trade and it would come up.
All right, put it in here. Hey, everybody, this is a link to Bite Size Sports, Johnny Football's channel. Y'all should for sure go over there and subscribe.
So it was number 3 overall that year. First and third rounders, so that they got number 3 overall. They gave away number 12, first and third rounders in 2022, and a first rounder in 2023. So it took 3 firsts and a third to move up from 12 to 3. So that's probably what we're kind of looking at here.
Potentially. And that depends. And like we've mentioned, I've talked to you about before. Obviously, it matters how hyped Jaden Daniels really gets at 3, because Trey Lance was he was super hyped at the time or whatever. So, I mean, it depends on what other people are feeling there as well. Hey, what up, AJ? Hey, everybody in here again. Another show. Another Ivan Pace rookie card giveaway. Get those hashtag skulls in. we are releasing a video, hopefully by next Monday, all about Ivan Pace Jr. And we're going to give away cards until that thing is released. So I want people to definitely get in here, try to win this card. Hashtag Skull, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so we'd have to give a lot, probably. And if we do that, it's absolutely means that they like someone enough to go do it. And you just got to believe that it's true. You know, you got to trust Kwesi here and KOC. Like, I'm assuming KOC is going to have a big, they're both at the Senior Bowl, of course. And you only think that he's going to have a huge part to do with this. And he's an ex-quarterback and all that kind of stuff. So you might not trust Kwesi in some of these situations, but you can kind of trust KOC, especially with KOC's input on the Jordan Addison pick last. Like, regardless of what you think about Kwesi and his drafting, you got to feel a little bit of confidence in what KOC can bring in his perspective of grabbing our quarterback of the future. And there's two quarterbacks we already know that we did tons of due diligence on throughout this regular season, and that was JJ McCarthy and Jaden Daniels. So we already know what we have in Jaden Daniels, and we'll probably get into JJ McCarthy at some point in this as well. But so you're feeling like if it's one of those guys, if that's their guys, like they did their due diligence. If we get one of them, we know they've been watching them, right?
Right. And I would say those are probably the two most realistic options that make sense, right? Like, I don't know. I just feel you just really get the feeling like it is going to be Caleb Williams, Drake May, 1-2, and then the other guys. There's outside of McCarthy, like Jaden Daniels just seems like one of those guys that's going to fly up. He already is flying up the draft boards, obviously. McCarthy feels like one of those guys that's going to just be undervalued throughout the whole draft process, just because. That's part of the reason why I'm not huge on him either. I haven't watched enough yet to really know, but just this, because people look at stats, right? And some of his games, he only threw for 80 yards. And I think that's a big reason why he's going to be kind of undervalued by people. But for me, if you listen to Michigan fans and even, people who do a lot more like draft work than I do, like they say that there's a lot of things you don't get to see on his tape, but you can see in some of certain plays that he has a lot of the intangibles that you look for at a quarterback. So then the other two guys, I just think with Penix and with Bo Nix, there's too many questions. There's too many question marks surrounding those guys, unfortunately. They both have good traits, but traits that might just not fit with what we're looking for.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that's why I like Michael Penix for sure. I'm out. I'm completely out. I do not want a quarterback like him. I said the same thing about what's his name last year who went for the Eagles, Tanner McKee.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Even though I think Penix is going to be a better than him, but I do not want a quarterback that can't move along. And I think Penix, he has the arm talent and the accuracy, deep accuracy for sure. Like, I think he could be good, but I don't like that he overthrows under pressure. And obviously we've seen what happened when in the biggest spotlight or whatever, but I'm not even going to talk about that much. But it's just like, if he doesn't have a great offensive line, which he did in Washington, he's going to be pressured a lot. And I think his throwing motion is too slow. I think a lot of different things where I think that's going to cause a lot of problems for him. But if he can stay clean, the guy's probably has the best arm talent in his draft as far as like accuracy, deep accuracy goes, But I do not want that for the Vikings at all. I would be very disappointed if our next quarterback of the future was a straight statue. Like, I'm not doing it, bro.
It's funny. Like, you look at him, big arm, deep ball accuracy, 2 knee injuries. Very Sam Bradford-esque, right? Where Bradford, obviously Bradford's knees, as Zimmer called them, were degenerative, right? And later on in his career, he couldn't move whatsoever. He was straight up just stand in the pocket, distribute the ball, like don't move whatsoever. I feel like Penix does have enough mobility to make it in the NFL, but you also feel like his career is like his full potential career is going to be shortened because of those 2 injuries. Like, eventually those will catch up with you.
Yeah. And that's just like on top of everything else I said, like that's without having this injury history and having to worry about that. And that's why I'm out on him. And I think, I'm not completely out on Bo Nix, I guess. Like, if the Vikings really I'm out on him at 11 for sure. If the Vikings really like him, he kind of feels like a game manager to me when I watched him. But I don't know. I don't. He doesn't really scream like he has a lot of potential, especially since he's already 23. So that'll be interesting. But where you at with the other quarterbacks? Because obviously we talked about them. Where you at with? What do you think on Caleb Williams? And yeah, start with Caleb Williams. Like, what do you think about Caleb Williams? Obviously, chances are we don't get a chance at him, but you never know.
I think with Caleb Williams, the first thing, like Patrick Mahomes changed the way that quarterbacks are evaluated, right? Because like obviously before the whole Patrick Mahomes era of quarterbacking, it was like teams were looking for those guys that would operate from within the pocket and had just enough mobility to move around. I mean, obviously you had the outliers, you had the Lamar Jacksons, you had the RG3s of the world who got drafted because of their athletic ability, right? The reason that Caleb Williams is so hyped is because he has the ability of Patrick Mahomes and he could even be better. With all that, which I see the really fun things to watch.
Don't say that, Yogi.
I see the really fun things to watch from Caleb Williams, and I see why he is so hyped. But then on the other end of it, the one thing I noticed with him is there's a ton of hero ball to where instead of just taking what the defense gives him, and you especially notice it if they're losing or if he's been, had a few bad throws in a row, he gets frustrated and feels like he needs to try to make the next big play. You see, Wolves fans, you see a lot with Anthony Edwards at times, like uber talented, but sometimes he just tries to do too much and makes a stupid play, to where instead it's sometimes he's taking what the defense gives him. Caleb Williams likes to do the flashy run back and forth, dip, dunk around, and then he chucks the ball downfield and he might overthrow a receiver by a couple yards. But then other times he does that, passes up the easy throw, and then he takes a shot down the field and he completes a 60-yard touchdown. So I think with Caleb Williams, I see why people like him so much. I think he's going to go number 1 overall. I do think, though, he needs to fall into the right situation with the right coaching staff that's going to keep his head on straight, first off, and B, can teach him to operate more from within the pocket and then use his God-given talents, his abilities to extend plays and move around like he does to enhance what he does in a broken play scenario or just at certain situations. Or like those plays, if you have to have it and it's like 4th and whatever, end of the game, and this is your last chance, that's the type of guy you want because he can extend plays as long as he needs to, and he has the arm to make any throw on the field. So I see why people love him. There are things I think he needs to work on. Obviously, the number one thing when I watch him is like not taking what the defense gives you in hero ball. Those are like the two things that I'm just like, and they kind of go hand in hand. The two things I'm like, those need to be reined in a little bit, but like arm talent, mobility, some people question the leadership, some don't. I don't see it as a huge deal. I think once he gets into a pro system, I think he'll get straightened out there. But yeah, overall, really like him. Think there's a couple things I'm like, maybe fix that. But that's what you're going to see with any of these guys.
Right. You mentioned Timberwolves earlier, and I just want to say that starting tomorrow, we'll be doing Timberwolves content on Bleacher Report. So any Timberwolves fans in here, definitely go tap into Bleacher Report tomorrow at 4:30 and watch our first live stream on there.
It's Wednesday, right?
Yeah. No, Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, Timberwolves, Bleacher Report. If you're a fan, definitely come check us out there. Back to your point with Caleb Williams. Everything you said is exactly how I feel. I mean, his ability to improvise is absolutely insane. There's no way there's been a quarterback to ever come out of college. I've not seen anyone that I've seen in recent memory has came out of college to look like him and his it's insane. Like that's his bread and butter. Like that is when he's at his best. When you watch his tape, it's when he dodges. If he dodges, it's like every tackle he dodges, it's like his attributes go up, right? Like he dodges 1, attributes go up, dodges 2, 3. Now he can throw 60 yards off his back foot across his body, no problem, strike, whatever. But that's the biggest problem with him. Hey, thanks, Johnny. Appreciate that. We got Steve in the building. What up, Steve? But the big thing with him for me is you don't really see him playing in a NFL level offense as far as playing in the pocket and just playing I don't see him that comfortable when he's sitting in the pocket. It's almost like he prefer to have someone run at him and him to dodge out and to roll out and make a big play that way. Otherwise, I see he doesn't really seem to step up into his throws, all that kind of stuff. But that's the small thing in my opinion, because if he gets you're going to learn that in the NFL. Most quarterbacks do. Obviously, you saw a guy. Hey, what up, Sullivan? Your cards should be sent out, by the way, brother. It should be at your house somewhat soon. What link are you asking for, Gary?
To the Timberwolves stuff, maybe.
Oh, we haven't set it up yet. Here, I'll grab a link from our channel because we do Vikings podcast on there as well. And we'd like some more people in there because we kind of do random times. Here, let me grab that for you. And like us, subscribe to us on there. If you don't have Bleacher Report, you should get it because Bleacher Report, in my opinion, is one of the best. In my opinion, it's always been my favorite sports website because it just grabs information from everywhere.
Yep, I agree.
Let's see, where's my account at? Oh, I'm not even signed in here.
But like when I say hero ball, I think hero ball is a bad thing.
Yeah, to some extent, right? Because sometimes hero ball, I mean, can be huge. Like if you're obviously if you're fourth and 8, round 1 of playoffs against the Giants, who do you want in there? You want the guy who's going to try to play, who's going to do whatever he can to dodge passes and extend the play with his arm instead of throwing short. Well, right.
But I mean, but I'm talking like when there's no reason to play the hero and you got to play the hero just because, I don't know. Like those are the things that I see with him that I'm sometimes if it's me, I'm like, God, I'd be a little frustrated.
And yeah, and I agree that, because, I mean, sometimes, obviously, you can make an easy play and then you decide to throw it across. You like what Jordan Love did. There's a good example. Jordan Love at the end of the San Francisco game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's him trying to play hero ball and ultimately,
ultimately just taking what the defense gives him. Exactly.
Right. So, and that's going to be an issue for, I don't know what the heck taking too much time here. What was I going to say? So, I mean, obviously, his talent, like what he does is completely insane. And it's an elite trait on such an elite aspect from the quarterback position where I'm like, I don't not know how you would pass up on that at all. So moving on from him, because obviously our chances of getting him is so slow that I doubt we do. But I mean, it's not crazy to think that Jaden Daniels maybe could jump up over Drake May. What's your thoughts on Drake May right now?
Drake May to me, and the reason I think he's so high up there is very Justin Herbert like there was a lot of teams that passed on Justin Herbert because if you're asking me to compare him to a quarterback in the league now, that's the one I'm choosing because they're both kind of the same, right? Tall, big arm. Like they're not going to wow you with their mobility, but they do have that ability to move and extend plays. Yeah. And just the arm talent is phenomenal. And I think your biggest issue with, and I'm sure you'll get into it, what you said with Drake May is that he is a little raw. And I do think that is, people have said that since last year, right? I think he's 21 years old. I think it's just like the reason that he's going to be a high pick is literally just because of the traits, just because of the size, because of the arm talent. Like he has everything you want a prototypical quarterback. I think he's the safer choice between Caleb Williams. But as I said, I think Caleb Williams is a lot more. I think Caleb Williams has a much higher ceiling, but I do think he has a lower floor than Drake May. Right? I don't think Drake May has as high of a ceiling, but his floor isn't nearly as low as what Caleb Williams could be if Caleb Williams completely bombs. It doesn't work out. So I like Drake May a lot. I do still think at the end of the day, I do think he's still going to go number 2 overall. I think teams are betting on trades just like just like with Justin Herbert, because 6 teams passed on Justin Herbert, and look at him now. I mean, sure, he hasn't shown he can win yet. Like the winning hasn't been there. I think I blame that more on coaching than on him. But I don't know. I really like the idea of what Drake May has. Again, though, I think he really needs to get on a team that can help him into making a few, like, I don't know. It's just he needs coaching. He needs pro level coaching, and I think he's going to find the right spot for that.
Right, exactly. And so I don't know, for some reason I can't find our Bleacher Report thing. This is our name. If you go on there and you look up just GG Sports Podcast, you should be able to find us. I'll try to grab a link another time to make sure we can get you guys in there, because it'd be nice to get some of you guys on the Bleacher one. Anyways, and yeah, we do Vikings content. We've been grinding on there, actually. We do Vikings content, but now we're starting Wolves content. So we're excited about that because it'll be nice to be able to talk about the Timberwolves, especially since they're a good team. And they had a good game last night. Anthony Edwards went crazy in the third. But anyways, so yeah, Drake May, watching him, I guess I felt like he was more raw than I expected based off people kind of looking at him as like a day one starter if he was to be picked. I can see the intangibles, but I don't know. He just looks nervous in the pocket a little bit. He kind of has happy feet when there's pressure. And I just didn't see a whole lot out of him, though. Again, like obviously, he's looked at as a potential, like no questioned. When GG, hey, for sure, Zoe. Um, but like he's looked at as like a potential generational talent or whatever. And hey, if the you know the people who really know what they're talking about, if they think that way, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna kind of go with you. I'm gonna be watching it though, because I'm like, I think he has all the intangibles, but do I think he's gonna come out on day one and wow everybody? That's one thing I don't know for sure. It'll be interesting to see in this pro day and the combine, but I'm not as big on Drake May as some people. I see y'all on Bleacher Report. Told my cousin and people I knew, hey, let's go. Appreciate you, Zoe.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, we've been grinding on there. They like us for some reason, I guess. Which is good. But so I don't know. I'm just not as big on Drake May. Like I think I put Jaden Daniels over Drake May right now. I think Jaden Daniels is more ready for NFL play than what Drake May is, though. I don't. Jaden Daniels has all the intangibles, but Drake May obviously is going to probably have the better arm talent, and that's what you do get out of Drake May. But I don't think it's like when people want to say like Caleb Williams is like Drake May is safe. I guess I don't really think Drake May is as safe as people think, but he does have the intangibles.
Yeah. I mean, I just say safe from the fact that he's just, I don't know. I just think his traits are going to transition better to a normal NFL offense than the other two. But if Caleb Williams, if they can do what Andy Reid did with Mahomes, it's going to work out. It's going to work out phenomenally.
Thanks.
But I do think with Jaden Daniels, you get a little bit of the best of both worlds, right? You get the guy who can operate from within the pocket. I mean, 3,800 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Like, that's crazy. The guy who can run the football. And if you watch him, like, it's not like he's out there like giving up on passing plays right away to run. Like, he does a little bit of everything. It's just, I just think with him, it's just that like people see the 210 in the weight and they get a little bit, he is kind of skinny. He is tall. He's 6'4", like you said. Right. But I do think it is a little bit of his frame that's going to scare people. But like we both said, I think by the time that the combine's all said and done, like he's gonna be that Anthony Richardson of this draft that keeps climbing up the draft boards, and it'll probably be pick number 3 overall. So
yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Adam, our guy.
49.
49ers for the win, G2G, but school next season. Had to make my last 49ers plug. Hey, it's all good, my guy. You can make as many as you want, brother. You can make as many as you want. Let me get some music. Let me get some noises up in here.
I see what he did there. $49 in hers. I get it.
Hey, that's crazy. I get it. Yeah, that went right over my head.
You're on another wavelength, Adam.
Great cash, homie.
Damn, that was nice. Okay,
go 9.
Are you kidding me with that catch,
Let's go.
Yes.
Yes. That's what we talking about out here. But yeah. Anyways, exactly. I think I don't know. I think Drake May could really be good. That's why I'm like, even though watching, obviously I'm not a professional at this shit, but we'll see. I'll be looking to see how all that works out. But yeah, going on to Jaden Daniels here. We got a couple. I know Johnny says 49% of JD's third down drops were conversions. We got our boy. Oh yeah, by the way, our boy Dave, Minnesota Sports Talk. Anybody in here who is not subscribed to his channel, you should definitely go over there and do that as well. JD or bust. So that's where I'm kind of at. I'm not JD or bust. I'm going after, personally, if we can get Caleb Williams, I'm going after him for sure. But at this point, Jaden Daniels would be like I don't want to say easy number 2, but for sure my number 2 guy. And yeah, I mean, the thing about him is before I started watching him again, and I've talked about it before, is like, I just saw a guy who ran the ball really well, or just based off his stats. Like, that's what people are kind of pushing. Like, hey, he's like a run first guy, whatever. And then you go watch his tape and you're like, dude, this guy's a pocket quarterback. Like, he's sitting in the pocket tall and confident compared to a lot like Bo Nix. I don't see that from him. I don't see that really from Drake May. I don't really even see the best pocket presence from Caleb Williams, but you do see that from Jaden Daniels. And honestly, and I do see that from JJ McCarthy too. And I think we'll probably go into him at some point during this, but I think he's really good in the pocket and he can make every throw you want. Yes, there's going to be times he's going to have some sort of, I think mostly deep accuracy issues.
Hey, Dave.
Let's go.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you.
All right, let me get some music in here again. Even though, there we go.
Straight cash, homie.
These are actually the
Are
ones
you
I made
kidding
for
me with-
Dave.
Big Kirko wakes up dripping.
Definitely
like
made that one.
He
For him.
is
I love this one. This one's my favorite. This one's my favorite. Yeah. Anyways, Jaden Daniels, just a stud in the pocket. I think seen him made every throw. All good. I've seen him make like every throw you could possibly ask from a quarterback position. It's just like he looks like if I didn't even see his running at all, I'd be like, he looks pretty damn good as a quarterback. And then you just think like, oh, this guy can also put 1,000 on the ground. He has an elite trait and it's on the ground. He seems like the no-brainer choice. And if we were to move up, I mean, that's exactly who I'd want to go and grab. I would choose Caleb Williams more. I just think I like that. I think Jaden Daniels might be more ready in the beginning, honestly. But Caleb Williams, man, if he learns a little bit of pocket presence, which I'm sure he will learn how to play in a pro-style offense, the ceiling is going to be absolutely crazy for that guy. And I wouldn't pass on that at all. But if that was to happen, if we were to try to trade up and we weren't able to do so, I think at this point I'm pick at 11 or trade back and grab more. And then I'm out on Penix, like I said, completely out. I'm probably out on Bo Nix. He can do more stuff that I like from a quarterback, but I do 100% think that I'm going towards, I think my plan B is to grab JJ McCarthy early in the second, or trade up for him at the end of the first. It'll be interesting to see how he goes, though. I have a feeling that he's going to move up draft boards, he's a guy I'm probably going to watch closest during the pro days and the combine. I think I want to see how JJ McCarthy throws there, because if he throws well, I honestly think, I think it's a no question in my mind that he should be the fourth quarterback taken if he throws well. So it'll be interesting. But I like what I see out of JJ McCarthy. I think out of those top 6 quarterbacks, I think he can improvise better than any of them outside of Caleb Williams, which Caleb Williams is far above that. And obviously he's a winner, and he's athletic and he can run with the ball. He can do all that kind of stuff. So I really like what I like from him. And if we can't go up and grab who we think is going to be our quarterback of the future, I think you get JJ and you look at him as more of a potential, like what's that called when you not groom, but
project,
like a kind of a more of a project. I'd rather have him as like some sort of a project than going to grab a Bo Nix or Michael Penix when they're already 23 to 24 years old.
Mm-hmm. Spencer Rattler is the best quarterback in this draft class. The Vikings do not need any more Senior Bowl MVP quarterbacks. We tried that before. We tried Christian Ponder. We tried Kellen Mond. Neither of them worked. So don't need that.
Caleb Williams is going to Washington. Write it down. Dang, that's a spicy take. That'd be crazy. That'd be if they traded up. If Caleb Williams really doesn't want to go to the Bears, which I think is not great on his part for Caleb Williams, but hey, dude has freaking insane talent. So if they don't want, if who knows if that's real or not, then I could easily see Washington trying to trade up one spot for him.
What are the Bears going to do? Dave asks. I still believe they draft a quarterback.
My guess is I'm leaning towards that, but I would say like the fan base seems like it was like leaning towards Fields actually. It was like Caleb Williams, and then towards the end of the year leaning towards Fields, and it seems like it's like coming back towards Caleb Williams. But my guess is you just got to go with Caleb Williams unless you really think Justin Fields can be that guy, because at the same time you're going to get an insane haul. Like there's a potential. I think you could get the biggest haul in draft history, potentially, if you want to, depending on how far you want to go back, if you're the Bears. So, that's got to be pretty intriguing if you're the Bears. And if you feel like Fields could still be the guy you want him to be. But then again,
if you pass on Caleb Williams and he becomes the next Patrick Mahomes, and you've passed on 2 Patrick Mahomes in the last however many drafts, it'd be a tough pill to swallow for for Bears fans if you miss out on 2 Patrick Mahomes type quarterbacks.
Hey, Steve, are you talking about us? I'm Jamie. That's Casey.
We don't have a Brian.
Yeah, we don't have a Brian. But no, I'm Jamie.
We have no room for Brians on this team.
Nope. I don't have a problem with Williams trying to dictate where he lands. Hey, I mean, Eli Manning did it, and I don't really look at Eli Manning as some egotistic guy. But you never know. I mean, with all the other stuff, like if the thing with Caleb Williams actually wanting part ownership of a team, I feel like that's pushing the limits a little bit. What up, Sarah? It don't make sense to draft Williams since they kept Eberflus. It's a bad year. Everyone gets fired.
That is fair.
Yeah, that's a good point. It'll be interesting. It's going to be hard for them to pass on him, I think. It'll be interesting to see how everything, like maybe he does super bad during interviews and stuff. Like all that could happen. So a lot can go. And
there could be a team that just chucks a ton of draft capital at him too. Like we'll give you 3 first rounders in 2 seconds, and you got to do it.
Who trades for Fields?
Atlanta, maybe Pittsburgh. Well, probably not Pittsburgh. I wouldn't think.
I would say. I still think they'll get at least. I think they'll get at least a second for him, to be honest. But
I could see a second rounder for him. Yeah. I mean, I could see a first under normal circumstances, but I just think like they're gonna have no leverage with getting rid of him because people know that they're gonna try to just dump him.
Yeah, it just depends on if there's two teams out there who really like Justin or thinks he can be the guy, which there might not be. There might not be any teams. Then it would be. Then I don't know. All it takes is 2 people to really like somebody.
All right. Cool. Obviously, the Raiders. I did hear though that and part of that ESPN article about the Vikings trading up, it did say Fowler did mention that the Raiders really, I guess. Pierce coached Jaden Daniels. Where did he play before LSU? Was it Arizona State or something like that? I think
Arizona State. I believe
he said that Pierce was a coach on the team there, so they're actually pretty interested in Jaden Daniels as well. So the Raiders are another team to look for that might move up into the top 3.
Yo, Sarah, I have COVID. Hey, sorry to hear that. COVID sucks.
It does.
It just lasts forever. It was
rest up.
Yeah, I hate
watch
it.
Vikings content. You know what to do.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I still like as far as when it comes down to it, I'm excited now. I'm excited to see the combine and stuff because I want to see how JJ throws. I want to see how Caleb Williams interviews, and I would want to see how Jaden Daniels throws as well. I mean, if Jaden Daniels throws well, he's going to who knows what's going to happen with him, I think. Hey, what up, Gary?
Oh boy, 2 Garys. We got 2 Garys.
Gary Olsen in the building. Hey, everybody, again, another show, another giveaway. We're giving away Ivan Pace Jr. rookie card. # go in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, we're making a really in-depth kind of Ivan Pace video. I don't know. We're putting a lot of work into it. Anyways, hopefully it comes out next Monday. That is my goal. But so we're going to give away Ivan Pace rookie cards until that happens. I might even give a little preview, a slight preview of what that might look at. Just a slight preview. I'm not going too far into it, but we'll see what happens.
Isn't it crazy? Sorry to cut. Yeah. Isn't it crazy that like Radler was the starter over Caleb Williams at Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
That one year?
Yeah. Well, he was like, what was his, he was prospect was high as fucking coming out of high school. Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I would take a chance on him. I've looked deep into the top 6. I haven't dived too deep after that. But I mean, I don't know. I guess if you really don't pick a quarterback first or second, I don't know. It's hard. I don't think you go quarterback at all then because you do have Jaren Hall, which I don't think you sit on Jaren Hall. But are you going to draft another third-round quarterback?
Purple for the win. He said he's team draft a quarterback every year because you never know.
I don't hate that idea. But then what are you going to do? Eventually you're going to have like 5 quarterbacks. I guess you can release them.
Start cutting them. Yeah.
Hey, I would take if we're sitting there, not the 4th round and he's there or whatever, and we don't have a quarterback. maybe you take a chance on him. What if
Well, I mean,
if he's not it and you cut him, whatever.
Well, San
guess.
Francisco, who's in the Super Bowl right now, had Jimmy Garoppolo, and they traded up heaven and earth to get to number 3. Next year, they take Brock Purdy. Look how that turned out. Like
yeah, it's possible.
Taking quarterbacks that you think could be something doesn't
and
hurt.
Late quarterbacks do nothing. Who cares if it doesn't work out?
Right. I mean,
who cares if they get
because the people got mad at the Jaron Hall pick last year. Oh, you could have used that pick on a different position player. Yeah, who cares? People got so mad that we took a quarterback in the 5th round. It's like, oh, what if he turned out? Then you would have been happy about it. I agree with Purple for the win. You got to just take swings at quarterbacks, because one of them might eventually work out.
Yeah.
And if they work out to an extent, and you find someone else, still you can trade them for. People trade for that type of stuff. So
yeah, I would want it to be
nothing wrong with. I mean, as long as you're not investing significant draft capital year after year after year, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, I think the only thing we'd be afraid of is we just want to know. All right, if worst case scenario, you just don't get. That's possible. We just don't get our quarterback. Because if you can't trade up and get one of the top 3 and you miss out on JJ McCarthy, then at that point you're not getting a quarterback. That's just the truth of it. So it's if you grab one later, you just want to know hey, you're still gonna grab your quarterback, even though I know we all want it this year. But if we draft JJ McCarthy, you guys still want to bring in Gardner Minshew to be his mentor? Yeah,
I'd do it.
I know. I saw Dave. I saw your post about not understanding the whole bridge quarterback thing. I don't think if you bring a bridge, I don't think you have to make it specifically as a bridge quarterback. I guess you would just know.
Well, the big thing is you're not
at least a real shot. Is Gardner Minshew going to go to a team and start next year, week 1? Probably not. So he's probably going to go to a team where he has a chance to start week 1, and it's going to be a team that just drafted a rookie quarterback.
Well, and here's the thing: people sit there and they bring in the whole then you have a rookie who's just sitting on the bench. Yeah, I think the biggest thing, if you have a veteran quarterback who's played before, the biggest thing is you're not bringing in this rookie with the expectation that you're here to save the franchise. Hey, you come in, if you perform, guess what? You get the starting job. If you don't, that's fine. We got this guy. You sit a year and you learn. People don't think about it that way. People just want to be well, no, I want to see him start right away. You're taking him in the 1st round. Start him right away. You're taking him with a high pick. Start him right away. No, we don't need a bridge quarterback. Just start him. Let him learn on the fly. It's I mean, yes, you could probably say it's a good thing that quarterbacks, if he is forced into the starting job, it's a good sign of growth that they can deal with pressure. But at the same time, you also don't want him to come in and feel like they need to perform and start right away. I mean, with these young quarterbacks, it can get into their head too. That's what Kevin O'Connell said. He told Jaron Hall, this isn't your only shot. You don't need to come out here and try to light the world on fire. Just play football, and that's the biggest thing. You're bringing in a guy. It's hey, we have a Gardner Minshew here. You don't need to come in and you don't need to have that pressure on you that you need to start week 1. Just learn at your own pace. We'll teach you all we can. Play the game. If you're not ready, you're not ready. We start somebody else till you are. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think. I mean, and that's another thing is I do think if we draft a quarterback, I want a guy with starting experience. That's the thing with Huntley, which he has some, I guess. I mean, how many games has he started? And even Minshew, you could argue.
He started quite a few for Lamar.
Was that last year?
I think, yeah.
How many was it again? But that's the thing is I would prefer if we had a rookie quarterback and we're looking Huntley, I think Huntley has potential or whatever. So I feel if I'm Huntley, I'm probably going somewhere where, I don't know, it's maybe you could potentially get a starting job. I don't know. I just don't know if Huntley would be the best person to have to mentor or have that kind of mentorship thing. A Tannehill, to me, I'm if you draft a quarterback, your goal is for that guy to start. Who cares about Tyler Huntley? You don't want if you get Tyler Huntley and you drafted a quarterback, you don't care about Huntley. What do you want out of Huntley? You're hoping for him to play well? I don't know. I mean, I would still take him. I think I like his play and everything, but I would just prefer to have a guy that who has started in the NFL and knows what it's like to get up each week to prepare for a game and stuff like that. And yeah, there might not be a lot of options of quarterbacks who want to be that type of person, but some people like Gardner Minshew or Jacoby Brissett, I think those are guys that in their careers, they probably aren't going somewhere to just start right away. So I don't know. That's where I'm at with that.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what direction they go, because I do think if Kirk walks, I still think they bring in a veteran quarterback of some sort. Like I don't think that they just roll with Nick Mullins, but maybe they do, because Nick Mullins, you got to say Nick Mullins has been here the longest. He knows the offense. Between the 20s, he played really well this year. Get him down into the red zone, not so much, but
he just threw. I mean, he made a lot of. He's not a. In my opinion, it'd be nice to have a low end starter as the other person. At least a low end or average starter, low end starter. I think Mullins is not even a high end backup in my opinion. He has potential to be, but you can't make all those interceptions. Like the fact that twice he was falling down and decided to try to no starter ever does that. So I don't know. I just don't think he's the guy that you want. I'm not confident in him. I know there's a lot of people who saw him tearing up and he's a great guy, but I don't care. Like, I do like his personality. I like Jaren Hall's personality. I really like Kirk Cousins' personality, but just because they're pulling on my heartstrings isn't the reason why I want a quarterback to stick around. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah,
I would like if we invest a high draft pick in a quarterback, if we're gonna have another quarterback on this roster, I want the one that will benefit him the absolute most. And in my opinion, that's someone who has starting experience and can prepare that guy for the game if he ends up getting taken over for the starting job or whatever. Specifically with JJ McCarthy, if we were to get him later in the first round, I'm assuming you would definitely have someone else come in and to be the starter, and I don't think it's going to be Nick Mullins.
Right. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of at the point now where I want Gardner Minshew to be that other quarterback on this team. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at.
Which now I was thinking about it, and I'm like, his cost is probably going up compared to his last year since he did start so many games.
He played relatively well this year too. So I mean, it probably
solid, very solid.
Right.
Didn't blow the world off anything, but hey, everybody, again. Ivan Pace rookie card giveaway. Get those hashtags goals in. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to give away this soon. I'm going to do a little sneak peek of this video. I just finished this part today. Just do a little one. Very, very, very short. Very, very, very short. So y'all tap in. Watch this real quick. We're going to full screen it.
Have you surprised yourself at all this year?
No, I got that dog in me, man. That's all I gotta see. They try to sneak their way in around saying, like, you're a smaller guy, so, like, how would you do this? How would you do that? I feel like I really do separate myself. If I had the height, I feel like I could be, like, a top 5 pick, but I just got relentless effort. You pull up any film, you can pull up somebody else's highlights. I'm gonna be in the shot. Like, there shouldn't be no flaws left for me to pick out besides my height. That's it. I ain't never read nothing that I had trouble with guards. I just run through their face like I did at the Senior Bowl.
That's it. That's all I get. That's all you get. So because of that video, we're aiming for Monday, next Monday, hopefully, but giving away the Ivan Pace Jr. cards. Y'all already see the hashtag skulls coming in. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff. We'll be giving this away soon here. So yeah, I mean, any other thoughts on these quarterbacks?
No, I hope they're able to, because I mean, this fan base is going to revolt if they don't get like one of those guys. But honestly, I'm if they can't get up in the top 3, my thought is trade back, get the best defensive player possible wherever you trade back to, and look towards McCarthy, bottom first, early second. But yeah, so those are basically where I'm at. Trade up into the top 3, or trade back and accumulate draft picks and build that defense up while still getting your quarterback. Plus, there's actually some pretty good offensive linemen. I mean, I know we watched that one guy, but I guess that Powers Johnson, I think his last name is. He's kind of starting to rise up the ranks a little bit. The center I think he's out of Oregon. I see his name kind of popping up a lot now as a big time prospect that might be one of those guys that sneaks his way into the first round. So I don't know.
Let's bring this up. But no, overall, yeah. I mean, I think we're on pretty much the same page. Obviously, again, it's like, I don't know. There's so much. It'll be interesting to see what all will change once we actually get to the combine and everything and really pay attention to. I mean, there's 6 quarterbacks we're going to be watching closely. That's going to be the fun thing. Like with the idea of us really feeling like there could be a real chance that we trade up. I wish it was better. I wish it wasn't the Patriots at 3. I wish it was the Cardinals or someone else. But the fact that we know like that's a real possibility, and obviously we really want a quarterback this year, it's going to be fun to watch. And there's 6 quarterbacks to really pay attention to and get to watch them throughout the draft process and everything. No, I'm excited. Pick out 11 if you can't trade up back in the first round for a quarterback cost less.
I'm team trade back. I guess it depends though. Like, but that's the thing. If you think about what the first 10 picks are going to be, there's going to be at least 2 edge rushers, 3 defensive tackles, and a couple corners we could take. So I'm team trade back and accumulate as many draft picks as you possibly can.
Dude, 100%. All right, let's do this giveaway. Who do we got today? The Ivan Pace rookie card. When that video drops, hopefully next Monday, I expect all you guys to go and watch it and like it. We're going to be going live that night, and I'll definitely be telling every one of you to go like it and drop it because we put too much time into it for it not to get pushed out by YouTube. Anyways, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Who do we got tonight? We've got, boom, Ivan Pace Jr., rookie card.
I'm feeling Gary again for
Gary. Bum, bum, bum. Let's go, Gary.
Oh goodness, Gary, you're on a heater, man.
Dude, he is on an absolute heater. I got 2 more Ivan Pace rookie cards left, so next Monday we'll definitely give one away, and then we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Any other thoughts on quarterbacks? And I mean, we're gonna have so much time.
We're gonna be talking. We're gonna have this same exact conversation again.
It's gonna get exhausting. I already know it, but it's a fun type of exhausting.
Right.
But that's especially because in a month from now, a month from now, we'll be talking about how they looked at the combine, and then a month after that, we'll be talking, or like 2 weeks after that, we'll be talking about how they look at their pro day. And then a month after that, we'll be looking forward to the draft and seeing what teams make moves and what teams don't. So
I know it's nice because then you actually get like some idea where players might go, right? Like it's usually the only like Anthony Richardson started like barely in the first round at this point, and then he made his way all the way to number 3 in mock drafts, and then he actually was picked there. But then you had Levis as a top 10 pick throughout the whole process, and he ends up not going to the second. So yeah, man, it's interesting.
Absolutely.
But all right, I think that's it, everybody. Hey, we appreciate you all popping in. We'll be here Wednesday with our show with Minnesota Sports Talk called The Skull Experience, and then the following Monday, all that good stuff. If you guys did go on Bleacher Report and find us on there, it's just GG Sports Podcast. I need to find a link, and I'll have to go find that. But go find us on there. We, like I said, Wednesday we start doing Timberwolves content on there as well, so would like to get some people to pop in there and all that good stuff. But thanks everybody, appreciate you.
See you next time.